Well, all right. Happy Monday to those of you who are tuning in live. This is Lois Kofi with Healthy and Wealthy and Wise. And it's so funny. It must be something in the air because last week I had a snafu with technology on my monologue last week. So I had another one today. So here we go. Take two. Again, if you're just joining us, or maybe if you have been in my community for a while, you know the drill. I just want to welcome you. If you want to, go ahead and let me know where you're tuning in from. If you're tuning in, go hashtag live wherever you're tuning in from. If you are on the replay, hashtag replay. Today is a topic that is near and dear to my heart. It's one of those topics that isn't always talked about when it comes to being your highest and best version of yourself, really wanting to make sure that you have enough time to reflect every day, enough time to deliver whatever it is that you need to your clients, to your prospects, enough time to hopefully have some fun. There's only so many hours in a day. And I see a lot of people going through the motions and spinning their wheels and overbooked and burnt out. And I know that there's a lot of that, especially late last year. And I just want to say I can relate. And I actually got to the root cause of that myself a year ago. And so I want to give you my 3 key tips that is surrounding this conversation of, am I feeling a lack of worthiness when it comes to delegation? And here's the honest truth. As entrepreneurs, business owners, no matter what size of business, small, medium, or large, we can't do it ourselves. We can't. We just can't. Life happens, death happens, a pandemic happens, you have to learn technology. There's all these different things, right? There's just not enough hours in the day, and there's only one of us, right? Your cup is full or becomes empty, and then life happens. You got to pay the bills. You just keep pushing through. And that was me last year. I definitely did what I could to take things off my plate, but I also still had a really overfull plate. And so I really reflected when I burned out. I hit a wall. Some of you know my story. Some of you may be hearing it for the first time. I became massively successful, meaning I got to 5 figures a month, only just 4 months after not knowing what the heck I was doing, right? In the online world, in this new normal called online sales. And I was burnt out. Like, even having the money come in, well, some of you are going, oh my God, 5 figures a month. I'm ecstatic, right? I felt empty. My cup was at the bottom and I hit a wall. And so I really started slowing down. I really started reflecting. And through that process, hey, Matt, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in live. Again, if you're just joining us, you know the drill, hashtag live, where you're tuning in from if you'd like. Hey, Adil, so good to see you. So ultimately, I had to have what I call not just a checkup from the neck up. I had to check in with my heart brain. And I really chose to be intentional about connecting my head to my heart and not just going through the motions. Sure, those motions got me so far. So what I did next is what really truly matters and what I want to impart in wisdom for you guys today. I reflected and I realized I can't do it anymore. I can't do it all by myself. So I did 2 things. Number 1, I did hire a coach. I had to focus, have someone to slap me around, hold a mirror up to me and say, hey, that's too much. Pull her back. He still does it to this day, because I get excited, like a kid in the candy store or a puppy with his brand new owner, right? Just wanting to love all over people and realizing there's I can only do so much. So that I'm not really talking about today. Hiring a coach last year was the best decision that I could have ever made, quite honestly, to help reprioritize things, to get my head and my heart connected. The second thing is what I want to focus on with you. It was delegation. My coach really helped clear away the clutter and help me get things off my plate that didn't matter, that didn't serve, that weren't really income producing after we reflected on it. And then also he did help me figure out what I could delegate, what I could keep and delegate, what I could get rid of and not really deal with right now. Because again, there's only so many hours in a day. And I find the biggest self-sabotage technique out there is for people to take on too much and not delegate. And so there's 3 things I want you to reflect, write these down, and you can sit with this later. You can journal about these 3 things. If you want to book a call, with me to talk about them, I do give, complimentary one time. So your first time is complimentary to unpack these 3 things, because quite honestly, it's not something that a therapist could do. I have a therapist, so I know. Only a coach can probably really, and especially a coach who understands priorities, because it's not about making a living, it's about designing a life. And I was starting to see I had no life. I had great income, but no life. So here are 3 things. I have my list right in front of me so I don't forget, so I stay on track. 3 things or signs that it's time to delegate. It's time to believe you are worthy to take things off your plate and to really take care of yourself is what it all means at the end of the day. So number 1, if you have an overbooked calendar. Now everyone's a little bit different in this, but I was booking things 6 days a week and not even really fully present with my family on day 7. I was booking things and full days too, by the way, full days. And then also trying to do my social media, trying to do landing pages, all of the things. I had delegated my podcast for the most part. However, some of my income producing activities, all of those things, all of that takes time. And if you don't have an assistant, you are an assistant. And who says that you're an expert at all of those things, right? So I was sort of like juggling too many balls in the air, trying to keep them all up there while running a 5-figure a month business. Now, if you feel like you can have the capacity, everybody's different. Like, let's say you work just like half days, 6 days a week or 7 days a week or whatever your thing is, just know your limits. I know I personally have a wall that I hit and then I got to refuel. So I went from working those 6 days a week, plus really not really present with my families on Sundays, to taking weekends off, only checking messages of clients on Saturday morning, if that, and really doing what I could to prioritize my time and make sure that I still delivered with excellence. So that was where I went from overbooked, overtaxed, stressed out, not sleeping well, to taking weekends off, sleeping better. Took a while. It didn't happen overnight, but definitely that's where I'm at. And occasionally I'll take a call on Saturday, but if I do that, then I finish earlier on Friday. So if I have to renegotiate, I will, but then I delegate whatever I can't do. And a lot of that goes on to my virtual assistant. So again, are you overbooked? Are you overcommitted? That's step number 2. If you feel like you start noticing you're under delivering to your clients, if you feel like you're starting to under deliver to your clients, that's a warning sign. Because as you grow and more clients come in, remember, Again, still, there's only so many hours in the day and so much energy you have to give. Once a client comes in, it's almost like a newborn baby in some respects because there could be onboarding, there could be a lot of upfront work. And if you're still doing all of the things, social media, scheduling calls, if you're doing follow up and checking your email, what I call all of the busy work that takes more time than you realize. And the more clients you have, the more work load comes onto your plate, right? The plate's getting bigger. Actually, the plate's not getting bigger. There's stuff that starts falling off the plate. So when you start under delivering to your clients, that's when you want to take notice. Is it time for me to delegate? So again, number one, are you overbooked? Meaning literally everything on your calendar is I have to do it myself. I can't, if your hours start getting longer and longer and longer, that's a sign. And again, if you're under delivering, which is usually a symptom of number one also. They all go hand in hand. And then, of course, the third one I've already said is it goes again. All three of these are kind of one and the same, kind of. They're related. They're like family members. The third one is you're burned out at evening time or whenever you do your self time, your self-care or your family time or your hobbies or your fun, and you just don't have the energy. And maybe you just want to drink alcohol, or maybe you just want to go straight to bed, or maybe you only have energy to sit in front of the TV. So there's all these other symptoms that could go along with that. However, again, are you here to make a living or are you here to design a life? There's a lot of people out there that say you got to work hard, you got to work hard, you got to work hard. It'll pay off. When is that payoff coming? If you're really sick, again, healthy and wealthy and wise, if all you can do is muster up the energy to watch TV, right? You don't have any friends, maybe, or I was there. Okay, I realized what a not so great friend I was last year. All of that stuff that was on my plate that was starting to fall off my plate, it had to go. Oh, Wilma. Wilma. Yes. And as you know, you got to practice what you teach, right? So I'm with you because when I realized last fall, September, October is when I had my little wake up moment. I recognized, how can I have a podcast called Healthy and Wealthy and Wise? And here I am, the highest weight I had ever been. I had, the income was fantastic, but I couldn't really enjoy it. Right. And then where's the wisdom in that? So it's cool that you call yourself the burnout specialist, Wilma, because you can pivot. You can change. Today is a new day. Yesterday ended last night. And I'll also invite you, if you struggle also with what I called this, do you fear worthiness when it comes to delegation? Do you feel like I have to do this all myself? You don't. You don't. And if you believe that you do at the subconscious level, it's usually a fear of letting go, a fear of not being enough, a fear of looking like you can't take care of everything yourself, therefore you must be flawed. All of that's BS. I'm just going to put it out there. Even if you have to ask a friend to help you with social media and do like a barter exchange or something, right? You'd be surprised. There are some really affordable options out there. You can go to fiverr.com to help you with the busy work. It's almost summer at the time of this recording. You could find college students, high school students, millennials who are so much better, right, than us at social media. Hire someone to check your email and reply. Hire someone to organize and sift and sort your leads in your CRM. You could have an intern for the summer. I did that when I had a personal training studio as a real estate agent. There's all sorts of knowledge and wisdom you have to give. There are people out there who are willing to work for that knowledge and wisdom. In fact, I've thought about it. I've done that. So I know it can be a huge win and a huge trade-off. So I want to close with just reminding you, you are worthy of asking for help. You are worthy for asking for support. You just have to decide if you're willing to receive, right? And here's the thing. Once you receive help, you can give more. Because without receiving, you cannot give. If you think about it, it's a law of reciprocity. It's a universal law. So if you got to receive to give, you got to give to receive. And so what can you get rid of? What can you delegate? I always like to say you can elevate because you delegate, or delegate so you can elevate. Write that down. Delegate so you can elevate. Say, I am worthy of asking for help. I am worthy for allowing someone to take some of the stuff off my plate, or just take it off yourself. I continue to take stuff off my plate that I recognized, oh my gosh, it's still there. Like in April, I got rid of things that I had still been holding on to. Analysis paralysis. It's kind of like if you look at someone who's a hoarder, they don't want to let go of stuff. It's the same thing in your business. Either let it go because it doesn't serve you, or delegate, 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 delegate. Also, this Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific time, so this may or may not work for some of you who are in other crazy different time zones, but I have a first ever training that I'm doing on how to work with a virtual assistant, how to hire them, how to pick one, and ultimately what to have them do. And I'm going to show you all of the things that I took off my plate last year that really blew me away at how quickly 4 hours a day, then 8 hours a day, I had someone to take stuff off my plate. So tune in. The spaces are limited. In fact, last time I checked, there's less than 30 spots available for this webinar on Thursday, May 27th. So again, if you're listening to this in iTunes, go to workwithva.now.site. It'll also be in the show notes. And again, you are worthy. Just remember that. You are worthy for asking for help. You are worthy to take things off your plate that do not serve you so that you can elevate and move forward. So take some time, reflect, and look at your schedule and say, what can I get rid of? What is not serving me? And how can I ask for help? Until next time, we'll see you guys. I have 2 more episodes this week. Check it out at healthyandwealthyandwise.com. And if you're listening to this somewhere, somehow, and you're not already inside of the Facebook community, please join us so you can meet amazing speakers, amazing people of like minds who are all striving for designing lives, not just making livings, and being healthy and wealthy and wise. And if you saw value, please hit the share button. This is a topic that not many people want to talk about openly because it's scary. It's scary to admit weakness, even though we're human, right? And it can be scary to ask for help. So thank you guys. Have a beautiful day. Have an amazing week. Bye-bye for now.